Hello and welcome. This is Susan Lopresti, and you're listening to the Susan Lopresti Wellness Mind, Body, Soul podcast. If this is your first time here listening today, welcome. And if you are a repeat listener, I hope that means that you've been enjoying this podcast and it's adding value to your wellness journey. I just want you to know that your age does not define you. It's merely a number representing the number of years on earth. It doesn't have to be associated with any kind of negative connotation about getting older. It doesn't really matter how old you are. Please remember that. What matters is how you feel. Most importantly, is how you feel about yourself. It's really all about a mindset. And my mission here is to help midlife women look and feel their very best selves regardless of age. So let's get into it. Do you know the best anti-aging secret out there? It's not in a bottle. It's not a fancy expensive cream. It's not a fad diet or any kind of elixir or supplement. It doesn't even cost you anything at all. It's completely free. If you haven't guessed it, it's sleep. The missing link to your healthy lifestyle may just be a good night's sleep. Taking steps towards improving your sleep is essential for optimal health. There's an increased epidemic of insomnia in our country. There is more stress than ever in our lives, which leads to sleeplessness. Maintaining adequate amounts of quality sleep is essential to optimal health and your well-being. If you are feeling run down or struggling to focus, or you feel irritable for no clear reason at all, you may want to look into your sleep patterns. In a fast-paced environment, many people forego sleep and overextend themselves to catch up on work and commitments and other responsibilities. Poor sleep can really lead to obesity, diabetes, cardiovascular disease, cancer, arthritis, mood disorders, chronic inflammation. It depresses our immune system, making us more susceptible to illness and chronic infection. So, here's a big one that many of us may be thinking, Like, how does a lack of sleep contribute to weight gain? So let's look at that one, for example, right? Women who don't get adequate sleep are more likely to gain weight over time. So here's how that happens. Leptin is a hormone that tells you to stop eating. And when you are sleep deprived, you have less leptin. And then there's ghrelin, and that's a hormone produced by the endocrine cells of the gastrointestinal tract, especially the stomach. And it's often called a hunger hormone because it increases the drive to eat. So, blood levels of ghrelin are highest before meals when you're hungry, and then they return to normal levels or lower levels after mealtime. More ghrelin plus less leptin equals weight gain. You are eating more plus your metabolism is slower, and when you are sleep deprived, let's just talk about that whole entire perfect storm coming together. Let's look at how diabetes plays a role in the lack of sleep. Your body is more susceptible to stress without a good night's sleep. The immune system does not function optimally, and inflammation proteins and blood sugar levels increase in response to lower levels of insulin being released through the night. There's also a link to poor sleep habits and cardiovascular disease. Another danger to poor sleep is that it increases the likelihood of injuries and accidents and mishaps, like as simple as stubbing your toe or maybe cutting yourself in the kitchen, falling, or getting into an accident. And that's because your focus and your reflexes are off their game when you're tired. And I'm sure you all know what I'm talking about, because we've all had difficult nights where we just couldn't fall asleep or stay asleep, and the next day we really were off our game, and all we thought about throughout that whole day was going to bed. You can't wait to go to sleep tonight and hopefully catch up. So there's also a decline in cognitive function, and there are measurable changes in the brain's activity that occur after a period of sleep deprivation. So when you do not get a sufficient amount of sleep, your mental performance suffers, impairing your ability to process new information and perform more complicated tasks. There may also be an impact in your overall mood and focus and high-level cognitive function. So sleep loss has been shown to even impair decision-making, which may lead you to make poor choices that you wouldn't necessarily make if you were well rested. And this effect may have even a more pronounced effect as we get older. There's also an increase of anxiety. Without sufficient rest, you may have trouble keeping your emotions in check. Increased levels of irritability and anxiety, sadness, and anger, these are all very common. You may even find yourself more vulnerable to unprovoked bouts of laughter and or tears. So the human growth hormone, which is HGH, is released during sleep so our bodies can continue to grow and develop, and we can heal damaged tissue. When we don't get enough sleep, our pituitary gland pumps out less of this vital hormone, which increases why we have that high risk of heart disease, obesity, diabetes, and mental health issues. There's a direct connection between sleep and health. Inevitably helps to improve the quality of your life. So basically, the opposite of everything I just mentioned, when you are sleep deprived, gets improved when you get good quality of sleep. So what are some of the, high-level benefits of sleep? You have increased energy to make beneficial lifestyle choices. So you're more inclined to do cooking or exercising and self-care because you have the energy to do it. That will strengthen your immune system. Good quality of sleep heightens your alertness and your focus and your creativity. It improves your mood because it's reducing anxiety, irritability, mental exhaustion. You'll have an increase in your sex drive because when you're tired, the last thing that you want to do is thinking about having some sex at the end of the day when all you could really think about is sleep. Internal organs rest and recover when you have a good night's sleep. So you have better tissue repair, muscle growth, and protein synthesis primarily occur during sleep. Hormones that regulate your appetite control, stress, growth metabolism, and other bodily functions are released. Memory consolidation occurs, allowing for the formation and storage of new memories, which is essential for learning new information. That's a really important one for me because I'm very fearful of my brain health because it does run in my family. So let's look at why you're having trouble, sleeping. So sleep regulates the release of many of our hormones. So not getting enough means trouble for hormone balance. In turn, hormonal changes, including fluctuation in estrogen and progesterone, can wreak havoc on your sleep patterns. When you're waking up during the night because of night sweats, or then you're having trouble falling back to sleep because your mind won't stop spinning, or you just don't feel rested. And here are some hormone imbalances and root causes contributing to your sleep issues. So if you have low estrogen, estrogen promotes good quality sleep. The problem lies in fluctuating estrogen levels during perimenopause and then the low levels when we're in menopause. This contributes to sleep issues and it makes us susceptible to those hot flashes and night sweats, anxiety, headaches. This could all interfere with a good night's sleep. Low estrogen also affects our circadian rhythm, which is that 24-hour clock that regulates our sleep-wake cycle and body temperature, contributing to disrupted sleep. So less estrogen means we are less efficient at processing magnesium and other important minerals for sleep regulation. So everything is connected, it really, really is. And then if we have low progesterone is a sleep-promoting, feel-good hormone that keeps us calm while reducing anxiety and symptoms of depression. When this hormone levels are optimal, we're relaxed, we fall asleep easily, and sleep well through the night. I would suggest, if you're having trouble falling asleep or staying asleep, to go seek the help of a functional medicine doctor if you want to have your hormones checked, and if you feel that this is needed. So, you could talk to your conventional doctor about going on bioidentical hormones, but I doubt very much they will agree to that. So that's why I'm suggesting a functional medicine doctor, because they will prescribe bioidentical hormones if you need them at all. So keep in mind, this is very, very important, though, and I want you to know it up front. Please keep in mind that functional medicine doctors are out of network, for health care. They usually do not accept insurance. You can apply them to your out of network, deductible, but you probably will very rarely meet that deductible. So please keep in mind that this is an out-of-pocket expense, and that's a disadvantage if it's something that you can't afford. I know that here in New York, to see a functional medicine doctor will run you about $900, and you can expect to pay that out of pocket about 4 times per year. The reason why I know this is because I've done it for myself for the last 12 years. It's been life-changing for me, and basically, with the help of a functional medicine doctor, I healed myself. So I want to talk to you about another way that sleep is right up there as an anti-aging tool. And there are many, many reasons for that. We also have a system in the brain that's called the glymphatic system. This is a cleansing mechanism of the brain that gets rid of all the protein and the toxins that build up during the course of a day. And at night, while we're sleeping, the lymphatic system drains the brain of all of these toxins. So it's a cleansing and a detoxifier. When we're not sleeping well, the lymphatic system doesn't work properly. So over time, these toxins and these proteins build up in the brain. And you start getting poor cognitive function, and over time can even lead to Alzheimer's disease. So sleep is right up there as an anti-aging tool. Right? And this is like so super important, especially for women, because women are more prone than men to develop Alzheimer's disease. So just imagine if you're having trouble sleeping at night, how would it feel to wake up in the morning feeling refreshed and focused and excited to move through your day? So, that's the ultimate goal, right? We want to get a good night's sleep, and we want to have an abundance of energy the next day to perform whatever task and whatever we have on our plate to do for the day. We want to be able to do it with energy, with positivity, with, to also be... what's the word that I'm looking for here? To just be functioning at our optimal so that we could do it once and do it well and then move on to the next thing that we have at hand, because we're all very busy. So we want to do it efficiently the first time and feel good about it. And with a good night's sleep, you're performing at your optimal height of doing things well. So we want to improve sleep. So we want to create a bedtime routine. And this is really important. You want to start training your body to go to bed at a certain time and wake up at a certain time in the morning. And you want to do that every single night and day, not just Monday through Friday. Optimally, you want to do it for 7 days a week. You want to continue to do it. You don't want to do a different routine on the weekend. This way, your body really gets into this routine and it knows it, and it just starts to shut down and know that now is the time for sleep. So if you're having trouble falling asleep or staying asleep, a supplement such as melatonin may be very useful to you. Melatonin is a natural hormone that's associated with our natural sleep-wake cycle. Melatonin is released by the pineal gland in the brain during the evening hours, and then it drops in production when the sun rises. So your body's natural time clock, which is your circadian rhythm, is disrupted by things like, a shift of work. So if you work during the night and you sleep during the day, that would totally offset your circadian rhythm. But things even as simple as stress or exposure to blue light from screens will disrupt melatonin levels, and they also can become depleted. So during such times, supplementing with melatonin may be a safe way to restore your natural balance, especially when you're trying to get back into that routine of going to sleep at a certain time and waking up at a certain time. And also when you start laying out some of these other things that I'm going to talk about to really further enhance your sleep. So you want to sleep with comfortable bedclothes in natural fibers, and the same holds true for your sheets. You want to have a well-ventilated room with no electronics and no TV. And I know for a lot of people that will get you like totally up in arms. But I want to tell you that a bedroom is made for sleeping, meaning a place that you don't have your workstation or any type of stimulating forces that are going to disturb your sleep. So you want to turn off all electronics at least 1 hour before. So a bedroom is made for sleeping and for making love. That's it. It's not for watching television. It's not for looking at your phone. It's not for doing your work. Nothing but sleep and sex. S&S. So that's all it means. So what you want to do to create this calming environment is to clean out the clutter. The old saying, a cluttered space is a cluttered mind, is so true. When you have lots of clutter in your bedroom, even like exercise equipment or piles of unfolded laundry or scattered papers, your bills, you often feel the energy of the clutter in the form of stress in your mind. So something as simple as making your bedroom, making your bed in the morning and making your bedroom a serene place to walk into will help to clear your mind of clutter and just relax you, and which will help you to, over time, get a good night's sleep. You also want to paint your walls a calming color that doesn't overstimulate you when you walk into the room. So like you wouldn't paint your bedroom reds or yellows or bright yellows or oranges, because those are stimulating colors. You want to get more subtle, like neutral colors, maybe like a beige or a tan, or maybe a light blue color is nice for sleeping. You'll also want to eliminate bright artificial light from, like I said, no TVs, no screens, nothing like that. Or even a bright alarm clock. You don't want that. You want to reduce exposure to light and sound. So, you may want to consider, and I had to do this for my own bedroom, in room darkening shades and blinds, because the sunlight comes up in my bedroom window very early in the morning. And also I live on a very busy and crowded street, so all night long there's buses going by and cars and a lot of noise. So I really had to reduce the exposure to noise and light. Another thing you could do in the evening is to take a nice warm Epsom salt bath and add some lavender essential oils to your bath water. And take like 30 minutes exclusively just for you. Set the tone. You may want to, light some non-toxic candles or play some soft, tranquil music, whatever really gets you into a relaxed state. Another really important thing that I find helpful in the evening is to keep a diary and write about the things that took place during the day. So I write about all of my blessings and everything that I'm grateful for and everything that went well during the day. I ate healthy. I had good conversations with my family and friends. But you may want to also write about conflicts that took place, or things that happened in your day that when you look back at your behavior towards them and you're not so proud about the way you behaved, you may want to journal about that. Talk about why you reacted the way you did, how you handled the situation, Could you have done better? Write it out and then release it. This helps so that when you do go into bed, you don't continue to rehash something that happened during the day. You write it out and you're done with it. You go over it before your head hits the pillow. You write it out, you think about it, you think about the part that you played, and how could I have done better? You can never change the behavior of the other people that you interacted with, but you can change your own behavior, which may have affected the way they responded back to you. So write it out, think about it, and then release it so that by the time your head hits the pillow, like I said, it's over and it's done with. You also want to keep in mind what you're eating in the evening. Experiment with light evening meals and crowd out late night snacking. And instead, journal, read, do yoga. When I say do yoga, I'm not talking about hot yoga or a whole vinyasa flow. I'm talking about a restorative yoga or just a little bit of stretching. Nothing that's going to stimulate you, but also just to relax you. And you could Google on YouTube or wherever like an evening yoga practice, and you could follow along with that. Another suggestion that I would make is to avoid late night beverages because, drinking liquids before bed will lead to bathroom runs, which disturbs your sleep and therefore is going to disrupt the sleep cycle and hinder the quality of sleep that you have. The quality of foods that we're eating is also very important. So try incorporating soy-rich foods which are high in phytoestrogen, which is a chemical that mimics the effect of estrogen in the body. So avoid also eating spicy foods because they have a tendency to trigger hot flashes. So being mindful of the types of food and the reaction that your body has will help you to know what to avoid and what to eat. If you're eating chemicalized processed foods, they could also interfere with the quality of sleep. So pay attention to that. And the reason for that is that when your body ingests chemicals, the body knows that these are not natural whole foods that we should be eating, and they work extra hard to filter them through the liver and get them out of our system. And when we're digesting, we're not resting. And it's very hard to fall asleep when we're still digesting food. So that is something to keep in mind, not to mention that they're just not quality foods, and we really should not, be eating them all the time. If you're going to do it once in a while, no big deal. But if it's disrupting your sleep and it's wreaking havoc on your health, we need to pay attention to that. And I go over this topic of sleep in so much detail in my programs. This is just like a highlight of what I really dive into in improving the sleep cycle in my health coaching programs. So as you can see, sleep is one of the best things that we can do to achieve optimal wellness, stay fit, stay sharp and energetic for many years to come. I'm going to end this topic of sleep right here. There's so much more to cover about sleep and many other healing ways to continue to feel and look your very best self regardless of your age. Thank you so much for spending your precious time with me. I am truly grateful for you. If you enjoyed this episode and you want to continue to learn more, please subscribe to the episode. And also, if you think that someone that you know would benefit from this podcast, please share it out with them as well. I would so appreciate that. But for now, be well, get a great night's sleep tonight, be safe, and until I see you next time, bye for now.